All right. And hi, I'm Sharissa,
And I'm Andrea.
and this is Divine Mic Drop. So glad that you're here with us today, and we have some special guests in the office slash, shall we call them an audience, Andrea?
Yeah, I think that's an audience. I think it's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you hear giggles, and actually, girls, you want to say hi? So we've gathered their questions. Andrea is going to be asking some of those, but if they have clarification, you may hear a voice. I'll try and repeat their question. Actually, we'll see whatever Michael does. We'll just let him
Find
do
out. Go
it.
for the ride. Here we
So,
go.
are you ready, Andrea?
I'm ready. Let's do
Okay.
it.
The audience is going to be much bigger and you're going to be surprised.
Oh, they're in on the ground floor right now.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
We're selling out stadiums pretty soon.
In spirit world, that's already happening. You have no idea how many entities are listening right now.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it so much.
You already went viral in the spirit world.
You guys have viruses up there too?
Viral love, but not
Viral
an
love.
STD.
Right to it. Right to it.
I say vagina all the time. That is
Oh
the
my God.
girls conversation this morning.
Oh my God. I like to qualify all the time. What do you mean all the
We
time?
don't have them up here, so
So better get talking about them.
yes,
Um,
yes, but happy to be having this conversation. Yes, yes, and happy to answer any questions you might have. Yes, yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, so the group this morning, collectively together, they were contemplating this concept of the higher self and the earth self. And I know you and I have talked at length about um, this concept as well. And I'm going to start here, and then you know the hearts of all of us and where we're really meaning to go. Um, Sharisa was sort of contemplating the concept that this higher self, even though we might see it from our hierarchy human point of view of better than us or smarter than us or wiser than us or finished growing. And Sharisa's going, I think my higher self is still growing
Yes,
along with me. It's not a completed perfect entity. And
yes,
yet it does seem to have maybe a more favorable point of view on things where it's not so concerned about what's happening to the body, with the body in the physical realm. It's seeing a bigger picture.
yes.
And why why? Like why does that one see the bigger picture and the earth one doesn't see the bigger picture and the spiritual one is so quiet? Now
Yeah.
I'm angry. Now I'm mad at everybody. Okay.
Oh, yes, yes. We will start to talk on this topic, and then you and the girls ask clarifying questions. Yes, and
Yes.
we will get closer. Yes.
Great idea.
And we are also responding to the thoughts in her brain because she has been thinking about this quite a bit. And part of her thought process is when she gets a hit of her higher self, which is happening more and more, and will become her normal,
Hmm.
and that will become her, and that will be an example for others that you can have this sense of love and peace for yourself on a regular basis and have that be Earth's future. So she's fascinated. What we would offer is, and we will use Sharisa, but this applies for Andrea, for Cricket, for everyone in the room. It is the same. Yes. So higher Sharisa already loves herself.
Hmm.
Sharisa in Earth form is considering that as a possibility.
Yeah. Right.
So higher Sharisa isn't struggling with that particular aspect. And so those who incarnate on Earth, and we know we are also answering Cricket's question at the same time because we were listening when you were talking. Yes, yes, is you come to Earth because how to say, so in higher Sharisa, she already knows she loves herself. And there are aspects of this huge expanded soul that still need to shine up that idea. But the overall balance is that of loving the self, right?
Mhm.
On Earth, when you come, it's out of balance. For most Earth souls as you travel through, your default is judgment, not default is love. Even at a very young age, we are thinking of some of this human has a lot of, she's auntie to lots of little kids. Yes,
Mhm.
even the little kid that's trying to potty train and then pees itself and then feels shame,
Mhm.
right? That isn't something that someone's taught them. They came through in this form with a bit of a default towards judgment of the self, so that that aspect that is still in higher Sharisa that needs to shine up the love can shine that up. So
Mhm.
that when this Sharisa goes back to higher Sharisa, there is less judgment there. But the overall balance of higher Sharisa tips towards love. We talk about that teeter totter
Mhm.
and how you're just trying to nudge towards the side you want. In higher self Sharisa, the teeter totter's already over on the side of self love. But
Mhm.
that doesn't mean that there are not a few things over here that could get shined up. And that's what you're coming to earth to do. And so you already, it's like you're your own ascended master
Mhm.
in that way. And you know what needs to get shined up. So, oh, higher Sharisa still has some stuff where she is lacking compassion for other people who struggle on earth with their bodies. So when she's an angel and she's trying to help, she has a little piece of herself that says, I don't get it. And so she wants to shine that up. But that doesn't mean higher Sharice's up there going, I judge all those people. No, no, it's just this tiny little thing. But the overall balance is that of love. We will pause because we are thinking we are blowing
Yeah,
people's.
it is a little bit mind-blowing because the trouble I think we have as human beings is that when we go to think, as you said, she is um considering, I like the way you said that. She's considering loving herself,
Yes,
which to be fair is kind of advanced for most humans. I think to even consider it, yeah, to even consider it is not the norm.
yes,
And here we are together in this group, considering it on and really, really considering it, understanding that it's where all the answers are, and
yes,
all of us going, okay, I want that. I want to do that. I've got a lot of indoctrination to work through, but I'm up for the game, right? And then you kind of look out at the landscape of other people and you think, that's a tricky one to share with others when they've experienced some significant trauma. And
yes,
they're looking back at me and maybe Sharisa going, "Yeah, I don't buy that because my life has been
yes,
tragic." So,
yes,
not to get dark, but what about that? What about you're loving yourself, but you're also looking at our world going, "Whew,
yes,
yeah,
yes, yes. So here's what we would like to offer with that. And we are understanding that quantum physics is catching up to this understanding.
yeah,
So there is a level and group of people who are starting to look at this even from a scientific perspective and saying, I get it. But when Sharisa loves herself,
mhm,
that expands the love on the planet, and that literally will lift up somebody in Iran who is getting bombed. They directly connect. They directly connect. So the whole concept of a butterfly flaps its wings and causes a tsunami across the earth, that is that quantum physics has already proven that they're all connected, but the love network is connected in that way too. And so you can sit here and say life is not fair and this is hard and all these traumatic things happen to me, and you are then amping up that and contributing to more of that happening on the planet. Or you can choose to radically look at the planet and say, this is out of balance. I'm going to sit on the teeter totter on the side of love, and I'm going to start with myself. And know in doing that, I am contributing to helping the whole planet feel love.
wow, that's really helpful. I
Yes.
mean, after spending as much time as I've spent with you and really, like I said, almost like
We are
reversing.
buddies.
We are best friends. We're gonna get necklaces. Let's get necklaces. BFF. Um, I get the B fried sign and you get the SN sign. Um, but the amount of time that I've spent with you, and it's interesting the concept of like, I use the word indoctrination, but education, it's like we come here and we get educated in this other way. And then I meet some of us, like this group that's in your room right now. Some of us seek and seek and seek until we get to this point in our, let's say, 50-ish era and go, oh, I get it. And now our work becomes changing what we've learned, which is, speak to that for a second about the, yeah.
Yes. So we have said this to this human, and it is in, Christy has the auto writing channeling. It is in there, and so it could be something to talk about. But we sometimes ask this human, what will you possibly think about when you have the house of your dreams, no pain in your body, everything looks good, and you're making love to Dwayne Johnson? Then what will you think about? Like this earth thing, all these objects outside, none of those actually fill the questions that you came for, because you came for growth, and sleeping with Dwayne Johnson or buying a mansion does not equal growth, and so they feel like empty conquests when you have them. Love and blessing to Dwayne. It is not anything about any person, but it is about when you realize that you came to love yourself. Now there's actually lots to think about in a very positive way, because you are creating those things you are thinking about. And so this human thinks about her back pain all the time and just creates more back pain. What would happen in your life if you decided back pain is irrelevant and I am going to just enjoy my life? The back pain will go away.
I mean, it's a really powerful statement and belief system. And every time I talk to you, I'm reminded. And I go off into the world and I go, but it's so bad, Michael. It's so, so bad. And it's so hard, Michael. It's so hard. And then I talk to you and I go, no, it's not. It's quite simple. You direct all that love toward your heart and everything in your world will change. How do we remember that without talking to you on a daily basis?
Yes, yes, yes. You are having a question?
Yeah, jump in, please.
Sign on your mirror. So every morning you put that reminder. So it's the
Yes,
first thing you see in the morning.
yes,
Like,
yes,
It's a
yes.
great idea.
So our studio audience,
A live studio audience like the 80s.
studio audience is saying, put a sign on your mirror. And yes, that is true. There are the physical representations that you can put around in your world that work. But the biggest physical representation is remembering how you feel when you hit it and then calling that back. So this human has had that experience of heat in her heart when she hit in with her higher self. So when she goes to bed, she imagines and revisualizes that heat in her heart. It's different for every human, which is why we say no protocol. But when you feel good, call back that feel good feeling like a sign on the mirror. And you do that more and more, and you're tipping the teeter-totter, you're tipping the teeter-totter until all of a sudden, this is just what I do. I
Mhm.
just love myself. So we are wanting to expand, though, that those of you, which we would call most of the human population, that are struggling with this, good job. You came to Earth to do this.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with you. Part of your soul said, I want to shine this up, and you're coming to do that. That is brave. That is courageous. Well done. If you are in a lot of pain, we understand that that does not feel good, and you're doing what you need to do. And we are proud of you for coming to do this. Wherever you may be in this experience of human, you were brave to come. You're an advanced soul to come and get it on. You're doing it, and it's
Mhm.
good.
Mhm. And so therefore, when something occurs that is seemingly unbearable,
Yes,
uh, that is the message. The message is you're on your mission. You're
yes,
Joan of Arc on your mission and
yes.
you're accomplishing it and yeah, yeah, okay.
Yes. And Joan of Arc was a very, very sweet girl. The images of her as this warrior is what people are carrying, but she did that warrior because that is what the world needed of her. But that she was actually the opposite in the sense. She would have rather have done that all through love, but that was not available in that time period
Mhm.
for her. And so we're just calling out Joan. Good job.
Good
Good
job,
job,
Joan.
Joan.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we make these images in our head that, I must fight this, must fight the back pain, I must fight the Trump administration from being in Iran, I must fight the Democrats for not loving the Trump administration, must fight the Republicans for having the Trump. All of this fight, fight, fight. In truth, Joan would have preferred a nice drum circle and call in the light and be done with this shit. So there's space for us to do this in a different way. And you came through at this time on this planet to tip it towards love. There's a tipping point that you're participating in, and you're part of that. And so if you are sitting in pain, thank you for being part of this tipping point, and find your next nudge of love and know you are not alone, and you are part of the team tipping the teeter-totter in the direction of the drum circle instead of war for the future.
Wow. I have to say, remembering to say thank you, and I don't even mean say thank you, I mean hear thank you, that when you are feeling less than who you really are, and you remind yourself that there is a, a bunch of energy around you saying thank you to
Yeah.
you, that could be powerful to say, oh, you're feeling appreciation toward me for my bravery,
Yes.
might lessen the burden of.
Yes. Yes. And when you feel that, oh, there is some purpose to this,
Yeah.
then you start to feel this sense of community that collective souls have, and
Mm.
you're part of something. Then now you're tapping into the power of source to shift that thing in your life so you don't have to experience the pain. So we aren't saying that, we are knowing that like monks come through and deny themselves these things, or sometimes people use pain as some sort of way to connect in with spirit. We are not saying pain is the pathway. We're saying if you are experiencing pain on the pathway, do not judge it. Instead, understand that you're brave to be on the pathway to begin with, and then tip yourself towards love so you can experience growth through joy instead of growth through pain.
Hot damn. That's pretty great. Yeah, you're good. A plus, Michael. A plus. You should totally be an archangel.
Should see if there's an opening up here.
Um, well, before we wrap anything up, does your live studio audience have anything that they want to throw at us?
Oh, bring it on. You are having any questions before we close, or you are good?
Yeah, about
Yeah.
the with like the earth focus on our physical selves and what our
Yes.
physical selves look like. Do other planets have that same thing, or is that part of the earth school uniqueness? Is this struggle to let go of our physical selves?
Yes. So the question is, the body on Earth seems like such a challenging point. And are other planets having that challenge point, and do they have the physical bodies? So here is what we would offer. The physical body is, so in spirit form, you do not have a physical body. And so in that way, when you're trying to shine things up, you don't feel them in the same visceral way. You still feel when the love expands on the planet. I feel it. The angels feel it, and we rejoice. Oh, I'm sounding very biblical today.
Well, Easter's right around the corner. You're right on time.
So you do feel it, but it is less tangible. And when you come to Earth, it becomes very tangible. If we scratch this human skin, she will feel it immediately in a very visceral way. And so people look at Earth and they say, there are these aspects to my personality that I want to shine up, because souls have personalities. They want to shine this up. I want to go someplace where that feeling becomes so amplified, I cannot deny it. So you come to Earth for that experience. You are having a question?
Yeah, I love that question and I love that answer. And I want to say thank you to Christy for that question because it's really helpful and clarifying. And also, what the design where you and your higher self are together and you're saying, okay, one of us is going to go, part of us is going to go be physical. And as a result, we're going to shine it up.
Yes.
And just so you know, it's going to be kind of a challenge to find us.
Yeah.
What's the
Hunt and seek, hide and seek.
hide and seek? Yeah, treasure hunt, treasure hunt. And my question, just to be specific, WTF? That's my question.
Yes. So we are going to answer the WTF, but
Yeah.
we are going to say to Christy, are there other planets where you have bodies? Absolutely. And is it different than Earth? Also, absolutely.
Oh.
Also, absolutely. There is a planet where everyone can go and be a cat. And
Oh,
everyone is a cat, and cats have homes and things like that, but you're all cats. And that planet is in very big chaos because the cats only do what they want.
Yeah. They're-
Try and create a structure and a government on cat planets.
And everybody's pretty catty with each other.
They're
I can
getting
tell.
jokes from the peanut gallery.
We got a writer's room over there. I love it.
It better be scared to be a mouse on that planet, huh?
Insects and things, or is it strictly cats?
It is. So each planet is very, very different. So they, yes, do they have insects, but they're not the same as here. And so cultures and communities and foliage and environments and the weather all grow around it. So it isn't like other Earths out there, although there are some other Earths too. It's so much bigger than you can ever imagine because a planet is alive. And as Mother Gaia grows, she says, rainforest would be nice. So she creates rainforests. There are planets that grow that really like cats. And they're like, wonder what would happen. They're having a good time. They're growing and playing and creating and co-creating. So it's so varied and huge. So to take that into body and what WTF to connect it together. Uh, so when you're thinking, I'd like to be stronger, and you go to the gym, you are understanding that lifting those weights may not feel joyful, though some people experience joy in that. It might feel hard, but you do it because it ultimately makes you feel better and feel stronger. And so once you kind of catch on to that, you kind of look towards the gym days as kind of fun. And then you also know what it feels like to be stronger. And like this human, she is going to the gym because she is going to go to Italy and she wants to hike the mountains of Italy and look at the vistas instead of hike the mountains of Italy and go, oh, I'm so tired. So it's similar. You go to Earth to strengthen. So you do come thinking you're going to the gym, but you also know that the vistas of Italy will be worth it.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay. That does actually satisfy and answer the question. I think, it's just, yeah. I think where my mind goes when, especially when we're talking about making these recordings for larger groups of people, my mind goes to the people who I have witnessed experience something that I consider to be like
Abhorrent.
debilitating. What's that?
Abhorrent.
Abhorrent. Yeah, exactly. I look to a person who's experienced something that I don't know that I could survive through what they survived through. And
Yes.
I go,
Yes.
gosh, Michael, why? Why? Oof, that's
Yes.
scary because we all live with that potentially happening at any moment.
Yes, yes. So, and that is why, that is part of why it was a challenge to come through this human, because as we were trying to connect in with her, she didn't want much to do with us in the beginning because she spent most of her career treating sexual assault. And she's like, I don't want part of this spiritual realm that lets this happen. I don't want any of it. Don't tell me that was worth it. And the stuff that she's seen, which we will not repeat because people should never hear it, but she's seen it and she knows that it's out there. So in the beginning when we were auto writing with her, she was not this receptive vessel that you see now because she was like, I don't think so.
Mhm.
I don't think so. So no one, this is what we've told her, and Christy has this in the auto writing, but no one is in spirit form saying, ooh, let's go to Earth and be raped. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's asking of that from anybody. And that when you get all these different souls coming down and they're working through their things that they want to shine up, there
Mhm.
are manifestations that are beyond what could be fully predicted that happen. And when that happens, we rally and love and protect and heal and grow. We don't say that was meant to be. We're
Mhm.
wanting Earth to grow to the point where that never has to happen. That's why I'm here, Archangel Michael, to be on Earth so we can get to the point where we are growing through joy and not growing through pain in this way. And when people souls are coming through, we're not getting these collective scars that are getting worked through. We are just more like a university where you get a bad grade, you don't get a debilitating disease. and you're in that pathway.
Mhm.
So yes, nobody's signing up for that. They are signing up for things like, I want to understand how to love myself when I don't feel in control of my environment.
Mhm.
And so they come through for that, and then they end up somewhat near these experiences that are really, really harsh, and they end up with a harder manifestation than they had intended.
Mm.
So spirit, that whatever you want to call source, whatever you want to call us, we are wanting to work with this population of souls to get to the point where that is no longer necessary, and we
Mm.
do see that as possible. So we our heart breaks with you when these things happen, and we are wanting to manifest a world where that no longer exists. And when it happens, we know that when you focus on it over and 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 over again, you create more of it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So to short circuit that process, we aren't saying don't ever go to therapy and don't get help, but don't stay in it for forever. Don't drag it through your life. Stop looking for all the ways it's impacted your life in every possible way. And that's what happened. You were a good therapist. You still are, and it's okay. But there's a time to shift. To
Mhm.
shift towards love, to tap on that domino of self-love and allow a little bit more light in there. And then as that light floods back across your life experiences, yes, that scar will still be there, but it won't throb.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, super helpful. Super helpful. Yeah. Um, anything else from the friends?
Love, Cove. We are feeling good.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel good. This is exciting.
You are ready for the human?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the only thing I always like to ask you to throw us one last closing remark, and then we'll be ready for the human.
Yes, yes. The closing remark would be that you are all more powerful than you realize.
Mhm.
And as people individually and collectively realize that love is their superpower, you can transform the world. That is available to you. So everything that you see that feels beyond your touch and so painful, just the simple act of loving yourself more that day makes more impact than you could if you sacrificed your life to go in direct service. So just remember your power and love yourself powerfully. Yes,
That made me feel really, really a lot of feelings. Thank you very
yes,
much. Thank
yes.
you.
Much love.
Much love.
Much love. Much love. Mic drop.
Always branding, always
Oh
branding.
my God, Andrea. It's
That was a good
hilarious.
one. That was a good one. I think the collective helped.
Yeah, yeah.
Friends helped. I'm
So,
going to shut us off here.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hold on.